Have you ever dreamed of owning a rental property and becoming a landlord one day? Just think about it. You're not throwing rent money away to make your landlord richer. You have a physical asset that brings you cash flow every month, and you get to have all of this while laying back in the comfort of your own home. Becoming a landlord is an exciting and rewarding experience, but let's be honest, with so many options out there, it can be difficult to know where to begin. Well, this video just might be perfect for you because we'll give you 10 tips for becoming a landlord. We've got all the tips and tricks you need to become a landlord. And if you stay until the end of this video, not only will you become a successful landlord, but you'll learn how to avoid all of the unexpected pitfalls that come with this business. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into it. Number 1. Buy a rental property. Now obviously, in order to be a landlord, you need to have a property first. This may seem obvious, but it's important to remember that not everyone has a house or apartment. This isn't as hard as it sounds because you can find them on Zillow or other websites that list properties for sale. And once you've found one that fits your budget, consult with a realtor and just make an offer. It doesn't matter if the house needs some work. You can fix it up over time, as long as it's livable now and in good condition overall. Once this is done, then you own your home. It's yours. You can sell it whenever you want with no strings attached. But wait, it's important that before you buy, you consider this next tip as well. Number 2. Carry out a profitability analysis. This is an important step that many landlords overlook. It can be difficult to predict the future, but you can still make educated guesses about your income and expenses. A profitability analysis helps you make sure that the property you want to buy will be profitable, and it can ensure that you're not spending money on something that isn't going to pay off in the long run. I mean, come on, making money plays a big role in why we even buy a rental property. And if you've seen any of our older videos, you'll know exactly how this is done. To perform a profitability analysis, you'll need to look at 3 different factors. What kind of rent you can expect from your tenants, how much it will cost to maintain the property, and how much profit there will be after paying off any loans or other debts associated with buying the property. By understanding how much money your rentals are making per month, you can make sure that each property is worth the investment of your time and money. Number 3. Know your local rental laws. Let's face it, it's important to be aware of the rental laws in your area, as they can vary widely. Some states and communities are more lenient than others when it comes to landlord-tenant issues. For example, some places require landlords to provide tenants with a minimum level of heat in cold weather, while others do not. Knowing the local laws will help you avoid problems with tenants or get into legal trouble for breaking them yourself. If you're not sure about something, consult an attorney or look into state websites, or just browse the videos we have here on this channel. You can also talk with other landlords who have experience in your area and ask questions about how things work there. Number 4. Always screen applicants. Screening applicants is one of the most important parts of being a landlord. You want someone who will pay their rent on time, take care of the property, and treat you with respect. If you don't screen your applicants, trust me, it can lead to many problems down the road. The first step in screening an applicant should be contacting previous landlords or employers to speak with them about their experience with that person. If you have any doubts about someone's ability to pay rent on time or keep a clean house, then this is something you need to know before signing a lease agreement, because once the tenant moves in, there isn't much flexibility in changing things up, unless they are willing. Checking credit reports can also tell you if someone has been late on paying bills before, which could indicate future problems in paying rent as well. So it's worth considering checking this information as part of your screening process too. You can easily do this with online rental platforms such as apartments.com, who let you do everything from screening tenants to managing rent payments absolutely free. Number 5. Construct a proper lease agreement. As a landlord, you need to make sure that your tenant is aware of the rules that they have to follow. You should also make sure that they understand what happens if they break any of those rules. The best way to do this is through a lease agreement. It is crucial that you sign a lease agreement before the tenant moves in so that everything is clear from the beginning. The lease agreement should include all the important details about who will be living in the apartment, how much rent will be paid, what is the security deposit, when rent payments are due, and other conditions of occupancy such as pets, noise levels, and parking spaces. Make sure that you ask your tenants to sign a copy of the lease agreement before they move in so that there will be no confusion later on about what has been agreed upon between both parties. Now, if you've discovered this channel for the first time, you should know that every week we upload new videos related to this subject. Therefore, if you want to stay up to date, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell as well. Number 6. Make rent your priority. If you're going to become a landlord, you need to make sure that collecting rent is your top priority. This means that it's not just important, it's very important. You can look at other things as more important than collecting rent. Rent is the main source of income for any rental property. At the end of the day, it's exactly what pays your mortgage and your expenses. So when you go into business as a landlord, you have to make sure that you're getting paid on time and in full. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of buying real estate and renting it out, but remember one thing, you're in a business. You're not a landlord because you want to be, you're a landlord because it makes good financial sense for your family and future goals. So don't lose sight of that. Number 7, don't be soft on late rent. This is the last thing that you want to be soft on because it will set the tone for everything else that comes next. If you let your tenants get away with being consistently late with rent, they will expect it from you and they'll start making other demands as well. It's important that your tenants know that if they don't pay on time, there will be consequences. Otherwise, they'll keep on doing what they've always done, and that is paying late rent. The longer you wait before enforcing rules like this, the harder it will be to get them in line. You may think that being lenient will help you keep good renters, but in reality, it will just make things harder for everyone involved, yourself included. Number 8, establish a security deposit policy. You may be thinking, I don't even have tenants yet, but the truth is that the earlier you start thinking about these things, the easier it will be for you to get started on the right foot. To give you an idea, a security deposit is money that's paid by a tenant to protect against damages and unpaid rent. It's important because it gives landlords peace of mind that they'll be able to regain any losses they incur through damage done to their property or unpaid rent. The amount of this deposit should be determined by your market. In other words, how much other landlords in your area are charging for security deposits. In general, though, I recommend starting with around 2 months' worth of rent and then negotiating with prospective tenants if they want more than that. Number 9, keep record of the rental's condition. When you're a landlord, of course you want to be able to keep your tenants happy. But what if there's an issue? For example, let's say your tenant has a leaky roof. If they don't tell you about it, they could end up with a lot of damage to the property and belongings. So how could you avoid this situation? The answer is simple. Keep a record of the condition of the rental before your tenants move in. Make sure you have photos and videos of every room and every appliance. This way, if there are any problems when they move out, they won't be able to say that it was already damaged before they moved in. Number 10. Get to know the tenants and neighborhood. You may think this one is a no-brainer, but it's actually super important. So many landlords make the mistake of not getting to know their tenants, and they end up paying the price. You have to understand who you're renting your property to and why they're moving in. Once you've made sure that you won't have any problems with them, it's time to get acquainted. Try this. Offer them cookies with a warm welcome note, or just offer them a cup of tea. It shows that you care about them as people, which goes a long way towards making sure they don't cause any trouble while living on your property. Becoming a landlord can be a rewarding and profitable endeavor when done right. It takes research, hard work, and patience, but the rewards are great. If you follow these tips and take your time in learning about the business of being a landlord, you will find yourself on a path to success. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and as a matter of fact, if you want to find out 8 things I wish I knew before becoming a landlord, watch this video next where I spill all of the tea. So click the video on the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.